This got me really excited. I thought this has to be it. This, like, if I have this, I can get into banking, okay? So I took a look at the prices and I'm in a place where I've completed the CSA thing and I'm still struggling to find work. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Presh, and as you can see by today's title, I'm going to be going into all things CFA. If you're new here, I recently qualified as a chartered accountant and completed my CFA articles in banking. I left the firm hoping that, you know, opportunities were going to open up for me and I was going to land up in my dream bank, but it hasn't been that simple or straightforward or easy. And this is why I've been considering whether a CFA is the way to go. If you haven't seen my video on the 5 things I wish I knew when going into CSA articles, I mentioned the fact that so many CASA trainees are going for something more. So it's not just the CASA articles, they are going for their masters, they are pursuing their CFAs because they want to get into, you know, positions, and because it's so competitive, you guys. It is so competitive. I was under the illusion that as soon as I signed off my CASA articles, whichever industry I wanted to get into, I would be able to get into it. On top of that, I do have financial services experience from a CASA trainee perspective, but that hasn't been enough. I haven't secured a single interview in banking, okay? And this tells me that it's very competitive, one, and obviously I need something more. So is CFA the way to go? So if you don't know, CFA is a chartered financial analyst, and so many CASA trainees are pursuing CFA. There are 3 levels, level 1, 2, 3. You need to complete those levels. You need to have an amount of work experience in hours, and then you can register as a CFA with the CFA Institute. So what exactly does the CFA curriculum cover? So it is such a great designation to have if you want to get into investment banking as well as finance, certain finance positions. I mean, some you can get without it, but certain do require some sort of analyst experience or qualification, which is what this would give you. So the curriculum includes things like financial statement analysis, corporate finance, equity investments, alternative investments, including private real estate investments, fixed income, including credit risk, as well as portfolio construction, so active equity investments and portfolio planning and construction. So very analyst-based, very investment intensive. It's amazing if you want to go into that direction. So I initially wanted to get into investment banking. That was my goal going into articles. I want to become an investment banker. Primarily because apparently that's where the money is at. But I also do have an interest, and it's something I'm just curious about and would love to learn more and gain that experience in. This got me really excited. I thought this has to be it. This, like, if I have this, I can get into banking, okay? So I took a look at the prices and let me tell you, I stopped in my tracks. So CFA level 1 costs $1,490. Level 2 the same, and then level 3 $1,590. So translated on this day 2025, level 1 is 26,500 rand, same with level 2, and then level 3 is 28,200. So initially I was like, you know, being unemployed and everything, and also my emergency fund, I feel like my emergency fund has like how much level 1 is. So am I going to take all that money and put it into a CFA qualification without a job, and then what? You know what I mean? So anyway, first I stopped in my tracks thinking it's really expensive. Then I kind of thought about it and how, let's say for example, CTA kind of goes around that price total. We're looking at around 40,000, maybe 30 to 40,000, even 40. I feel like CTA is 40,000 to, then you get institutions that charge even more. But I think that's your average, around 35,000 to maybe even 65,000 is how much you're looking to get your CTA qualification. So it makes sense. It makes sense. But for me right now, I'm unemployed. I don't think this is practical. I don't think it's practical. And another question, which was a big question for me, is would it open doors. Guys, I'm in a place where I've completed the CSA thing and I'm still struggling to find work, okay? And I was under the impression that once I completed, doors were going to fly open, which hasn't been the case. And it hasn't been the case across all industries, never mind banking, the industry I actually want to get into. So I recognize and I learned the hard way that it doesn't really work like that with qualifications. Yes, it will get you to interviews, it will, get you a seat, but ultimately you need to sell yourself. It's super competitive. You need to market yourself. There's a lot that goes into it. So I do know a friend of mine who completed his CFA level 1. I hit him up on WhatsApp to find out whether he's finding the job market a bit easier with his CFA level 1. And he does say that it's tough, right? It's so competitive, even with CFA. But he does feel like he has been, securing many more interviews, which is great. But ultimately, once you're into the interview, you still need to sell yourself. So that's where I am. That's where I'm at, guys. I really think that this is the practical next step for me to take to pursue a CFA. Even if it's okay, I was about to say even if I stop at CFA level 1, but what's the point? So eventually, I think this makes sense, especially because I want to, pursue investment banking and get into that space eventually. Right now, it doesn't make sense considering that my emergency unemployment fund is looking like the level 1 cost. It does not make sense for me to, completely deplete my savings on CFA. So I think it's more practical for me to go find a job, even if it's not where I want to be, and then maybe while I'm in that position I can pursue my CFA. But yeah, you guys, that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you found this insightful. I am actively trying to get into the industry that I want, and I'm hoping that I can take you along with me, and I'm hoping that one of these days I post a video telling you about the good news that 1, I secured my dream position, and 2, I secured it in my dream industry. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel to follow along. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye.